The next thing I want to mention briefly is the automatically collected events in Google Analytics 4. The reason I want to mention this is because whilst you're setting up your GA4 event migration plan, there might be some events that you previously had to set up. However, they're now actually being collected by default in GA4. So you wouldn't really want to waste time spending the time sort of migrating those into a GA4 event. So here I'm looking at my data stream. So again, this is the Google Merchandise Store. And within this data stream, we can see here the enhanced measurement setting. And here it's been enabled for the Merchandise Store. So for this, it means that out of the box, GA4 will automatically track these pieces of information. So for example, page views, that's a bit of a given, but out of the box, when you put your tag on the site, GA4 will automatically track page views. And along with that, it collects the event parameters, the page URL, but also the page referrer, which is the previous URL. So you kind of know what page you're visiting, but also the one which was viewed before. The next one is scrolling. So I've seen in Universal Analytics, often people set up some detailed scroll tracking. So when a user scrolls to 25, 50 or 75% of a page. However, in Google Analytics 4, this is automatically collected. However, it does only track one scroll touch point. So it only fires when someone reaches 90% of the vertical depth. So that means if you do enable this, you do get that scroll event come through automatically at 90%. But if you do want more detailed scroll tracking, like 50% or 75% or even 100%, that will have to be a separate sort of manual setup that you need to include. The next one is outbound clicks, and this automatically tracks any click that happens that takes you away from the current domain. So if we're on the Google Merchandise Store, this will automatically track any click that goes to, for example, google.com or anything else which basically doesn't have this in the URL. So this is quite useful because people normally track things like social clicks, so things going to like Facebook or just any other sort of site really, but that will automatically track now, so you don't have to sort of set that up in your tracking. So the next thing that's automatically collected is site search. So here you can get an event to fire whenever someone views a search results page, and also to actually collect the query parameter that's being used. So this is kind of similar to what happened in Universal Analytics, where you have you can put in the values of those query parameters. I can't actually show you here because I haven't got edit access. But you put in, for example, if you were to search something on the site and it had a parameter of search equals t-shirt, then you would put in the search parameter in that settings field. And you can customize that. So if there's as soon as you set this up and you find that your parameters may be slightly different than a default one, then you can sort of enter that in here and it will start tracking the site search quite quickly. There are two other automatically tracked events which aren't shown in this. So there is actually an analytics help article which details all the automatically collected events. And the two for the other common ones for the web properties are file download. So whenever a user clicks a link that leads to some sort of file download, like a PDF or a document, an event will fire. And there's actually some rules at the bottom of the document here. So you can see here there's a regex. So anything that contains either PDF or doc or text or CSV will fire an event as a file download event. And that's something that people used to have to set up tracking quite a lot for. And then the last one is video engagement. So here there's a few different ones here. So there's video start, video progress, and video complete. And this is something that again, people use this setup quite a lot for embedded YouTube videos to track the progress and when people are like, how much people actually watch of that video. So you can automatically see how far people are progressing within a video, so 10% or 25%. There probably are some technical issues here, so I would check the tracking works rather than just switching on and trusting it. So I'd check that even for embedded YouTube videos. But I know there are a few others like Vimeo and stuff like that, so it might be worth checking whether that's working on those once you set it up.